Wait.
when we come in.
Okay, this is right now going to YouTube.
Okay.
1,
Yay! Oh, you want to play?
1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Play everybody in.
Wait.
Greetings. Oops. Oops. Oops, sorry.
Oh, look who's here. All right.
People are here.
Anyway, hi everybody.
Welcome to Guitar Club.
Hi,
Hello,
Doug.
guys.
Hello.
Hi, Ruben, all the way over from Australia. That's amazing.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Morning from Oz, yes.
What time is it? It must be in
It's 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Okay, so
Early,
that's not
early.
terrible.
No.
Okay, all right. I was going to say
12 hours ahead.
well, 13. Is it
14.
14.
14. Nice.
That's amazing.
And there's Dana. He's connecting.
He's connecting to audio. Well, welcome. It's
Yeah.
another exciting adventure in the art of improvisation.
Yes, improvisation. Today's topic is Dorian.
Dory.
So,
We love Dorian.
you know what? And it's funny because, you know, like when I'm working on the modal thing, you know, when I first started working on it, I really wanted to sort of get it so that I understood all of the modes and the differences between them, and that's kind of a thing. But I've also found it really useful to just pick one of them and focus on it for a little while.
Yeah.
You know,
Explore.
yeah. So I mean, okay. So one of the things that I often teach to my students is that I try to see modes by using 3 different and simultaneous definitions. So the first is that a mode is a major scale starting from a different degree. So for example, Dorian is D Dorian would be a C major scale starting from a 2nd degree. Okay. A second definition of a mode is a major scale with notes altered. So an example of that would be D Dorian is a D major scale but with a flatted 3rd and flatted 7th. So by making those alterations, you end up with a D Dorian scale. It's a different way to get there, but you end up with the same result. Okay. Third definition, and my personal favorite, is a mode is a pentatonic scale with notes added. So a D Dorian scale.
Oh, that's the easiest.
Yeah,
way.
that's the cool one. That's the one that they talk about at the cool kids table. No, I'm just kidding. But
at John's table.
so for example, D Dorian would be a D minor pentatonic scale with natural 2 and natural 6 added. So that's kind of useful, I think, because you can start with a D minor pentatonic scale. And
We all know that one.
Yeah, so if you know that, then all you have to do is add the 2nd degree, which in this case would be E. Right? Right, but then you could also add the note B.
That's
So-
the Dorian note.
And it's that B that actually is the note that characterizes the sound of a D Dorian scale, because that's the note that makes that scale differentiated from D minor or D Aeolian. You know, minor is the one that we hear most of the time, and you know, so another way to think of Dorian is D Dorian is a D minor scale with a raised 6th degree.
That's right.
You know, so there's a lot of ways to think about it.
Whatever works.
Yeah. So, do you want to pull? First of all, before we go on, did anybody have any questions? Did you get the material that we sent out?
Okay, good. You
Okay.
got links, backing tracks, scales, all the fun stuff.
Yeah, cool.
The only thing I'll interject, John, is I thought we were doing Mixolydian Part 2 this week.
A late edition, yes.
Oh, are we doing
So-
Mixolydian Part 2 this week?
I thought we were.
Oh,
so
right. Yeah, so we can hear your versions of it.
All right.
Yeah, so I actually sent you an MP3. It's in your email of my take on it. I don't want to detract from our Dorian study, though.
Not at all. That's you're totally
We just
right.
wanted everyone to have a chance to play on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I apologize for the mix. I was kind of doing it at the last minute. It took about a month for the ideas to come, but
Let's wait for him to talk about it. and
Okay.
then-
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So tell us your exploration, what it was like.
well, I was lucky enough to see Richie Blackmore this weekend down in
Sure.
Pennsylvania, Stroudsburg. So after 20 years being a fan, so the melody sort of is inspired by him. But some of the other stuff comes from a sound that I like. It's based on what the Edge does. So
Oh, nice.
listen to it and you'll get it. You'll get what I was going for.
Cool. Is it okay if I play it?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
We're going to share it right now.
1,
This is Dustin.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Before we continue, one quick little comment that I want to make is I love the fact that you spent time at the beginning of the track just trying to establish the feel and the pocket. You know what I mean? That's really great.
So you'll hear more of that at the end. And I was actually questioning after the fact, because it was instinctual, whether I was just folding into the feel that you built on the backing track or whether I was changing it. And honestly, last week I was trying to put something together with this, and I had a devil of a time doing it because I couldn't get the feel. I'm not joking when it took like a little while, and then once the melody arrived, that's when the feel kind of clicked for me.
Then everything changed.
Some-
Yeah.
something-
Yeah, it's funny how that happens. It's like you wrestle, you struggle, you wrestle, and then
Yeah.
it clicks, and then
blossoms.
yeah, exactly. All right, so let's hear the rest of this. Thank you for doing this, by the way.
I'm so excited.
Least I could do for you doing this.
Yeah.
what is it? The 2290 delay that he uses, and where the streets have no name.
Yeah, I think it's a model on that. I about a year ago I got a Fractal FM3, and they have a model on there called Nameless Streets, so you know who it's all about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I actually used in that track two of the different guitars. One's really distorted with that 2290,
Yeah.
and one's got that sort of shimmery kind of effect.
Yeah, it
They're
sounds
just too much fun to
beautiful.
play with. Yeah.
Very
Yep.
Yeah,
mixolydian.
there's a couple. I've got the XFX XL2,
Mhm.
and there's a patch in there. Boy, I forget what it's called, but it's something like it's called Galaxy Formation.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what it's called.
that's cool.
And
Amazing.
it's kind of what it is it's those kind of sounds, but
Mhm.
just sort of presented in a manner that's like far more extreme.
Super
like,
spacey.
Yeah, like you play one single note and the thing just kind of runs away with it.
It's pretty neat.
It's
Yeah.
like-
But
I was really running into trouble with that backing track by just trying to solo over the whole thing,
Right.
and realizing that it was just too much guitar and I wasn't finding the melody. Once I found the chorus melody, I recognized that this is something that I've just kind of stumbled on in the last little while. Oh, there's a 2290. Look at that.
Oh, there it is.
Whole thing.
Wow.
Look at that.
It.
The real
All
deal.
I have is the TC flashback delay. It
Yeah.
has a little knob.
Yeah.
2290.
Yeah, I sort of realized that the when you're playing off a sound, sometimes I used to play unplugged all the time
Right.
to hear the way I was picking the strings, and then sometimes you're actually playing the sound more than you're playing the actual guitar itself, which is what I was kind of doing with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I started out with that sound playing a lot of notes, and then quickly realized with that sound you need to be economical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
so
the way
much
you
happens.
had the phrasing breathe a bit there. It was great.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was nice. I mean, I think like if any of these tracks that or any of these tracks that come up that are coming up, feel free to work on putting together a melody on top of that. Just keep like or maybe even get on YouTube and find some backing tracks. I mean, it's really I think it's really good to do that because when I practice improvising, one of the for me one of the biggest potential pitfalls that I can run into is the pitfall where I'm just sort of noodling over the key because it's something I know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then pretty soon my fingers are in control of the improvisation, and I'm off like, oh look, shiny, and the players whose improvisations I like the best, I can sort of feel them really trying to be in the moment, trying to figure out what's the right
In the
thing
zone.
to play now,
Mm-hmm.
and where should it go next, and just a very like a clear sense of where they're going with it.
So that's actually something I dealt with when working on this. Firstly, in the first week or two of trying to work on it, the fingers were taking over. Then I tried to target the notes and the chords.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, like, are you consciously thinking that, or is that something you do, like when you're improvising, John? Are you targeting notes and the chords, or is that something you do more when you're composing rather than improvising?
And when I'm improvising, when I'm at my best, then all I'm really thinking about is what story am I trying to tell,
Hmm.
and how can I make this come across as clearly as I can. What should it sound like? What should it feel like? I like imagining myself as an audience member listening to me play, and then sort of asking the question, if I was sitting in the audience, what would I want to hear this improviser do in this moment?
Okay.
So like that's what I'm thinking about when I'm actually in the moment of improvising. Now preparing for it, that's another thing. I will spend a fair amount of time developing what I would call vocabulary around it. So even if I'm I'm just thinking about one of my favorite improv recordings is Allman Brothers at Fillmore East. Okay, when I first bought that record, I listened to it thousands of times. And I got to a point where I just knew every moment in that, and I was imagining that that they just kind of stepped up on stage and improvised like that, and it would just happen to be, it would just happen to be magic that night, and that they were lucky.
Spontaneous. Yeah.
So that was kind of how I always thought about it. And then like years later, I heard some alternate take recordings from the same series of concerts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what was so interesting about that was that in the alternate recordings, the solos were actually really similar to the originals, not note for note.
But they had already incorporated the ideas.
Well,
they knew what they wanted.
They had the concepts together going in.
Exactly. So they were sort of, so as each tune was evolving, they were sort of picking from the same, from the same baskets to get essentially the same result. But it's not exactly the same, but it's kind of the same. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, okay, well, that's why that comes across as perfectly as it does, because they were improvising, but they might not be like 100% improvising.
Yes.
So that's kind of left me with some with some different ideas about about when I'm improvising. It's like I want to show up and I want to be prepared, and I have an idea of what I want to play, but I tend to come off tends to come off better if I'm if my brain is sort of engaged with it. I'm actually thinking about what I'm doing, as opposed to, I don't know what's going to happen, I'm just going to play whatever I feel, man.
That's what we were talking about having jam sessions.
Yeah.
There's the spontaneous creation that can happen,
Mm-hmm.
which is always fun.
Yeah.
But then improvising live on a song that you've already composed.
Yeah.
That's when you've got the structure and you kind of have the idea. You've already hiked
Yeah.
that terrain before.
That's sort of something I had to learn while working on this, because I always sort of played other people's lines, and I haven't really worked so much on building my own vocabulary. And when I was faced with just a backing track, knowing the chords, knowing the target tones, it sounded like a toddler trying to make words.
Oh,
I did not have the vocabulary together until I had to work towards building up a library of licks, so to speak.
Yeah, and it takes a minute to figure all that out, I think, too.
It does.
We all have worked on it.
So, if the rest of you don't know Ruben, Ruben's been studying guitar with me privately for a few lessons. He's a pro-level player living in Australia. So, Ruben, I want to ask you, what do you think about when you improvise?
Actually, I'm not dressed up as anything. We're kind of in a hurry here. Oh, I see.
Fabian. A lot of that was ringing true. I do a fair amount of improvisation with the live shows, but I usually have some guidelines, some home bases that I'm trying to hit. I was actually thinking this is also what happens when I'm recording a solo for an album or something like that. I'll go in, and first few takes will just be random, feeling my way around, and I might come across some, I like that. And so I'll improvise, but I'll hit that lick there, and then I'll end it with this run here. And so I'll have some touchstones, and that's particularly good if I'm not having a great night and I'm not feeling inspired for a particular solo. I don't know where to go. I'll just go to those touchstones and then stick around there.
Yeah,
safety.
Because they're the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Well, it's it's in those touch tones. I mean, if you think about it, like if you think about how we approach driving, if I'm going to the gas station, I'm going to come up to the intersection. I'm going to turn left at the intersection. I'm going to go over the railroad tracks, and then I'm going to go past those other two intersections, and then the gas station's up on the left. You see, so. And as I'm driving, I'm sort of unconsciously noticing those touchstones. Very much like improvising, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You've kind of gone that road before.
Yeah, you've gone the road before, you know, you know, I mean, I don't know. I guess there's a limited effectiveness of the of the you know the relationship between driving and improvising, but you get the point.
We can close our eyes when we improvise.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing though that's really cool is if you've played a part over and over and over the same way, and you start to get bored. Well, you know the structure of the chord progression, and you can change it up.
Yeah.
To make it fresh and find something new. We're never really stuck in that one thing, unless you play in a cover band and you have to play the song's note.
No, even then.
So Dana, what about you? What do you think about when you're improvising?
Well, this conversation was kind of reminding me. For me, there's improvising over my own stuff versus like if I'm trying to improvise over somebody else's stuff. So this conversation was reminding me the last time I was in a cover band and I was too lazy to learn the solos. So what I would kind of do is figure out what the little kind of theme spots were. And then I'd learn those. And then I was just like, the hell with it. I'm going to do whatever I want in the other spots. I don't know. I can't think of a specific example right now. Like but I guess like a few weeks ago, like when you were playing Time,
right?
I don't think I was ever in a band that we did that, but I was just thinking of that as an example. You know, I might just wail away, but as long as I made the ba da 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 ba 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 ba, and kind of the cool thing about that was when you do that with a cover band, they almost act like cues. So if I was feeling good and I wanted to go off on a tangent, I could go off on a tangent only to come back. And if I played that theme, usually I could play something and the band knew that I was bringing it back and they were getting ready to come back into the verse. It would cue the singer or somebody to come back in.
Usually the drummer going, blah, 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 ga, ga.
Something like that, you know. But when I'm doing my own thing, I guess in a way I think I usually compose something out. I don't think I write it out note for note, but I try to pick out some key spots and I use them as sort of anchors to get from one place to another.
Yeah, that's smart.
So Dana, to two of your points there, when I was watching Blackmore's Night this weekend with my friend who was with me, I pointed out to her that Richie will go off on a tangent, and then he has a signal. His hand goes up like this, and it's showing the band that they're going into. He's done improvising. They're going into the next section.
Right.
Sometimes you just feel that with someone, but
that's kind of the sledgehammer over the head cue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think making eye contact and doing a nod. Blues Jam yesterday.
Like if you ever go see John play, he touches his head. He pats his head.
Who does? Oh, John.
Touches his head.
John goes head. But I guess I was just thinking more from a subtle point of view. So for me, it's usually like I'm a big fan of Zappa, and I remember somebody interviewing him one time, and they said something to the effect of, what you do is it like what is your music? Is it composed or is it improvised? And he said it's kind of partially both. There are certain parts that are composed, but within those, the band is free to improvise.
Free to stretch out.
Right. But there must have been some, either, something, that was able to cue the band to bring them all back together. I mean, obviously, you can wave your hand and stuff like that, but I think it's pretty cool if you can do it through the instrument. If you can do something musically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and then to your other point about, sorry, Julie, go ahead.
That's okay. Well, in John Finn group, it's very similar. We have spots where we can improvise, and I usually look at Larry, and then he brings us back in with the fill or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
My drummer.
Yeah.
Wait, we're finished soloing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, and my favorite version is, "Hey, we're done soloing now." Kind of the opposite of solo. No, I'm kidding. Jane, what about you? What do you think about when you're improvising?
Well, I just recently started doing this blues challenge. It's actually
Okay,
on the ukulele,
nice.
and
Okay,
it's been a lot of fun. It reminds me a little bit of, I think when the Guitar Club first started, did we do like a 12-bar blues?
yes, we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, so it reminds me a lot of that, except maybe stretched out over 12 weeks or something.
Okay.
But so it's been a lot of fun, and just today I was playing sort of the notes that the teacher had put down, but he had welcomed people to change them. You don't have to do that. This is just an example of using this scale. And I thought to myself, I didn't really like what he had there. So I said, I'm
Right.
gonna just change it. And I guess I just had in my head that I felt like it needed a few more notes, a
Right.
little, some slurs or little triplets here and there. And then I just felt like, I don't know, I just tried something out, I guess,
Right.
That's
keeping
it.
it in this game.
Yeah.
And I like, oh, I like that better. And then I played it a few
Oh.
times, and yeah, so it was, I guess for me, it was at that time, anyhow, it was just sort of a feeling in my head of what I felt it needed, and
Right.
then adjusting it.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's exactly that. To me, cuts right to the quick of what improvisation is. I mean, I was a couple of years ago, I was looking at a video of Louis Armstrong playing "When the Saints Go Marching In," and it was so cool to watch because he would start with, right, but what it also made me think is it's such a simple melody, but he made it sound great because he made it feel great too, right? But then subsequent iterations of it, he might play, right? Just a very
Variations on the theme, right?
simple, yeah, like just taking a theme and just kind of doing a few more things with it, and then listening to like all the different ways that he would do it. Like it was like that's it. That's
Because you
it's
still recognize the
yeah,
theme.
like yeah. Start with the theme and then just see what you can do. So I just kind of went on I went a little bit down a rabbit hole with just kind of improvising over "When the Saints," you know, and in a way where I had to find myself practicing to try to make it sound good, knowing that I would never actually perform it live, you know. But it was just a really interesting exercise. It goes straight to the quick of that.
I love that.
Yeah. You know what? We should probably get to some of my materials. I mean, I could talk to you guys all day, but
No, but I appreciate everyone sharing. I think
Yeah.
that helps us grow too.
yeah,
Hear
definitely.
everybody else's ideas.
So can we pull up the?
Yeah, we're gonna go to Dorian unless someone has a question about Mixolydian.
Nope.
You ready to jump? Okay,
Okay.
let's do it. Okay, what would you like to start with?
So another way to think about Dorian. Dorian is a Mixolydian scale with a flat 3.
Are we gonna
Okay.
do soloing study? No, scales.
Scales for soloing study number 4. Let's just start with that.
Okay,
Okay. So
let me put it over here. Where did everybody go?
okay. So for the C Dorian scale, I gave 2 versions of it. The first version that I gave was a 1 octave scale. The reason why I like working with those is because I know for myself I got so caught up in trying to memorize I got so caught up in trying to memorize the shapes of the scales that I found myself not playing as much music because I was too busy playing the scales.
Right.
Right. So in this scales for soloing study number 4, there's 2 versions of the C Dorian scale. The first one just a 1 octave from the 5th fret to the 8th fret. So so 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, natural 6, flat 7, 1. Play a C minor chord. Yeah. Okay, then the second one starts with the second finger on the C at the 8th fret. Okay, so then for the D Dorian, it's the same thing as the C, just up 2 frets. And then for the 2 octave version, start with the second finger at the 10th fret. Okay, and then for the A, same thing. And then 2 octaves. And I don't think that it's important necessarily what fingering that you actually use, as much as just learn the notes that are in the scale and be able to find them efficiently and quickly. So these scale shapes are kind of an easy and convenient way to do that. So let's go back to the C Dorian. Okay. Now you notice as you play through that. Okay, and so Julie, show what the 6th degree of that is. Okay. It's kind of an interesting note against that chord, isn't it?
Sounds a little dissonant.
Right? But now if I play an F9 chord, kind of makes it a little bit more melodious, doesn't it? So C minor 7 to F9. And then, but oh, by the way, our track goes from C minor 7 to F9.
That's why we're talking about all
Right.
this.
Okay. Then 2 frets higher for the D Dorian.
Oh.
Yeah. Right. So even though you're playing up and down the scale, it's also important to start to notice how those notes react to the chords that you're playing over. And I think that that's kind of useful in terms of figuring out the licks. So anybody have any questions about that portion of it? It's pretty straightforward, right?
Okay, good.
Okay.
You want to do the A?
Yeah, and then
Well, A is going to have different chords
Yeah.
too.
Well, the difference with the
You have the little riff in there.
yeah in the track, it goes from A5 to C5 to D5. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Now there's something interesting that happens with the A Dorian section of the track. What happens is it'll play those 3 chords. Then the first time it will end with a 2-beat lick that goes like this. Okay. Okay, then it will do that same thing again. Then it will do the same thing and end with a longer version of the lick that goes 3, 4.
Oh, I missed one.
Yeah,
Let's try it again.
3, 4. Yeah. Okay. So the sort of the built-in booby trap in terms of working on the A Dorian track is improvising and catching those licks as they go by.
It's really good practice because
Yeah.
it keeps you aware of what's happening underneath.
Yeah.
You don't want to just noodle away and not be connected to the harmony
Yeah.
and what's happening in the track. So
Yeah, and that was kind of why I brought that up. So
very cool, John.
yeah, thank you. So let me see. I've
I
got the
love this
track
track.
here. All right. So again, it will start with C minor 7 to F9.
1, 2,
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So C minor,
You want to play it all.
F9. Okay, and then here's the C Dorian scale. Okay, and then 2-octave version. 2, 3,
Play two.
and. Okay, and here comes D Dorian. And here's A, B, D. And here comes the shorter version on B3, 2. Longer.
Oh, I missed it. After all that. Now back to
And
C.
you're back to C minor. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on with the track. Any questions about any of that?
This will be fun for you this month.
Yeah. Julie, you want to try it?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So.
Do you want to? Does it help to have the scales on the screen as we're doing this?
Yeah, man.
That's good. You'll have to send us a track next time too.
Yeah. Actually, maybe after Julie's done, maybe Danny wants to give it a whirl.
You want to try it?
You want to try it? Maybe. Think about it. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was on mute.
Oh, it's okay.
No worries. I like hearing you.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
1, 2,
Will you scroll when we get
1,
to the D?
Yes.
2,
Okay.
3.
Now are we on the? We're still
C.
in.
Okay, here comes D Dorian.
Oh wait, we're starting on 7 and 9.
Okay, now here comes A Dorian. Three. Here comes the short bit on C3, 2.
Oh yeah, there.
2. 3. Here comes the longer one.
There we go.
Yeah.
Say it, we get to do it again.
One, 2. So that's kind of how it works.
That's it.
Great,
It's
great
nice
job,
to
Julie.
be able to change
Yeah,
from Dorian to Dorian to Dorian in 3 different keys. Then
Yeah.
you know you really got it.
yeah, and that's a lot of it. And I've been playing over this track for, for quite some time. This was that what you just heard was literally Julie just shooting from the hip. So I think
Oh well, thank you.
yeah, really
I
nice.
got tripped up because I usually play Dorian in a different way, but I love having a different option.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay. Anybody else want to give it a shot?
Want to try it? Basically, you'll play the backing track from your computer so that
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
won't
That
be
would be the
latency.
best way that would work.
Could you maybe send me the backing track?
Oh yes.
Sure. Or if you want to go, I can put the link in the chat. It's on.
Yeah. Once you put the link in
Julie.
the chat, that's probably the simplest way.
Where's our chat? Okay, I'm gonna just stop sharing for a sec so I can find all my windows. Okay, there it is. All right.
Yeah. So Ruben, if you click on that link, you will
You'll get to this screen that has all the materials and all the materials from all of our.
yeah, and one of
Guitar
them is
Club.
one of them is that Dorian backing track.
Yeah, you'll see under May 23. It'll open up in a different screen.
Yep, no, I've got that.
Okay, cool.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay. All right. So to tell you what, are you ready to do it now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So you go, and then maybe Ruben can go.
Okay.
All right. Give Ruben a chance to kind of can get himself set up first. Yeah. Awesome.
right.
All right. Let's hear it.
All right. Hopefully you can hear it.
So
1,
so
Oh, I can hear it. Yep.
yeah, I can definitely hear it. So one of the things you want to keep in mind as a suggestion, just be able to feature that natural 6th degree of the scale when you want to.
Yeah. Know where it is in each of the Dorian.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah. No, not at all. We'll be listening for
Play
it.
it
We'll be scoring
perfectly.
every note you play.
I'll be scoring every time I play an A, right? A on
I
C.
didn't tell you, this
No,
is the
no.
John and Julie Guitar Club Olympics.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. Okay. No
All right.
pressure.
Not at all.
You're going to be amazing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Volume on the backing track.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Nailed it. Yay!
That was really great, man. Like he hit every single point. he found that natural six, found ways to kind of, the only reason I mention it is because, like, if you can kind of fit that natural six in there, that's really the note that sort of telegraphs to the world, he's playing Dorian now. Now he's playing Dorian, So if you want that sound, that's a way to do it. The other thing is that you completely nailed that lick in the A Dorian section. That was really great to hear.
I missed it the first time, but I was afraid to do it up an octave because of that warp refraction threshold.
Hate that.
So I just did it as written, but yeah, you're right. That six is really beautiful. It's very
that's when you know you're John, when you're bringing in the warp refraction threshold.
Yeah, that's that's when that's when you've like upped a notch, huh? So I know that's true. And I was talking to somebody else about this the other day. It was like that whole thing happened because as I was practicing, I found that I was consistently making mistakes in my scale patterns going between second and third strings. And that was kind of when I went to, like, okay, wait a minute, there's something here, yeah. So let's have a closer look at that. And that's what made me develop that whole warp refraction principle idea. If you're not familiar with it, maybe we can do a class on that sometime.
Yeah,
if you want to.
I think that would be definitely
highly recommended.
Okay, all right.
It's a great book. What's the name of the book?
The book is called the book is called Advanced Modern Rock Guitar Improvisation.
I have
It's
some of them right
it's out on.
If anybody's interested.
Oh, it's right here. This is the original. This is the original artwork version. I don't know if you can see it, but as you can see, there's a picture of me in the cover, and you can see that I look exactly the same now as I did back in the day. I haven't aged.
Look at those fluffy locks.
Yeah.
Look, you got a little halo over your head. Trying to there.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say that
John.
that picture was from 1995.
Here's my copy.
Yeah.
Hey,
nice.
That's cool. He's got the old picture too.
He's got the original version.
It's wonderful.
Anyway.
There's even a CD in here.
Okay, so we only have you have an 8 o'clock class you have to get to, right?
8:30.
8:30. Okay, so
we want to talk about the Dorian licks.
Yeah, actually, before
can I ask a couple of quick questions?
Oh, please.
Sure.
So over the C minor section,
yep,
you're playing C minor 7 F9.
Yep.
How do you know? Like, so the one thing I always was kind of curious about was, are you playing C Dorian over both chords, or technically are you playing C Dorian over the C minor 7 and F Mixolydian over the F9? Or
question.
In a lot of circumstances, that's considered a 2/5, right? So in the key of B flat major, that C minor 7 being the 2 chord and F being the 5 chord.
Okay,
so I guess when is it all Dorian? When is it Dorian Mixolydian? And when is it kind of just all the major scale? Because that's
right.
what we're resolving to.
Right. Those are great questions. So I can tell you the way that my brain processes it is that I make a distinction. Like one of the philosophies I teach a lot with my Berkeley students is the idea of separating out what it is versus where it is. The what it is just the theoretical concept of what you're playing. And then the where it is how you play it on the instrument. Okay? And those two things can often be two different things.
That's right.
So meaning, like you can use a B flat major scale fingering to play C Dorian. So, what it is C Dorian, where it is B flat major. Right? So even though it sounds like you're talking about two different things, you're really talking about the same thing. So, but in my, I know that might sound confusing at first. In my brain, the way that I sort of processes it is if I'm listening to C minor 7 followed by F9, right? To me, both of those chords working together create a pretty specific C Dorian sound. Okay? So when I get to the F9 chord, I am going to be fully conscious of the fact that I'm playing F9, but I'm also going to be conscious of the fact that I'm not playing a new scale, or I'm not playing a new set of notes over the scale. What might change is what notes I might emphasize. Does that make sense? So in my head, it's all C Dorian, but over the C minor 7 chord, then F9, I might emphasize that A natural a little bit more because it's the third of the F9 chord. Right? Then, sorry. Okay. So
Both
does
sound
that answer your question?
You
Yeah,
can get it
I
both
think it does. Yeah.
So and I wouldn't think of it as a 2/5 because because a 2/5 implies that the next chord you want to hear would be B flat. And in this setting, it doesn't sound like it wants to go to B flat. It sounds like
C,
it
it's
just
drawing
went,
to the C.
yeah.
The C
So
is the
You
but
don't feel like the dominant's pushing towards the tonic.
not in this specific case.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
but I mean, if the circumstance was a little different, so if I was going right,
I apologize if I'm getting too technical.
no,
We
no,
love this.
This is not the crew to apologize for being too technical with. Let's be honest.
yeah.
That's
So
our
I mean,
happy
it
place.
really, you know, context is everything. I think in terms of how you analyze it.
Okay.
You know, and I think more than anything, what matters more than anything is what it sounds like to you. You know, how your ears perceive it.
To me, that's more of a 1/4 in a minor key.
There you go.
Right. Which is kind of how I hear it too. It's a great description. You know,
Actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, it does seem to make the most sense. It does sound like a 1/4
yeah,
in minor key.
yeah. It kind of is. Ruben, do you want to take a crack at it?
Okay. Hope I got my levels right before I had like 5 minutes of setup beforehand.
It's fast.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
That'll do for me.
Yeah, well, see, and that was really great. You know, I mean, you know, you definitely like really sort of super fluid with getting from key to key. You know, and you're also nailing those I mean that you just got this thrown at you just now, with like
Just
literally no
jump in.
prep. So
Why not?
that's impressive how quickly you got in that.
Thank you. A warm up.
Yeah.
One thing, your guitar was a little bit hot.
Yeah, the guitar was a little loud relative to the track.
Yeah, I kicked it down like halfway on the volume, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't.
We never know till we try it.
Yeah, I didn't want to stop you in the middle of it just because of that. But
Yeah.
All right. So you want to get to some of the licks?
Yeah, let's have John show us his Dorian licks.
Okay. So. Okay, so again, one of the things that I find really useful is every once in a while, just like kind of stop and say, and then like write a lick from beginning to end that works over the chord, a short burst of the chord progression you're working on, and then the next step is to practice incorporating that into your improvisation. And and there's a little bit of a feeling of it that like at first when you do it, it's not gonna work as well as you would want, simply because you're using, it's like open the dictionary and you learn the word avuncular and then try to use it in a sentence. You know what I mean? So
hard.
it's kind of
takes a little while.
yeah. There's a minute. It takes a minute to get it to be smooth and integrated, but it's a good. I think it's still good. I think it's still good work to do. So the first lick's called City Strut. So anyway, I'll play the lick slowly first. 1, 2,
Want me to play
3.
C minor?
Sure. Because about halfway through, if you can get to the
Oh,
F9.
F9, sorry.
So 3,
Here we go.
4. Okay, so part of my thing was I just wanted it to be, da doo da ba doo da ba doo ba 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 doo da ba doo da ba doo da ba doo ba ba doo ba ba doo ba ba doo ba 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 doo ba ba. You know what I mean? Like kind of have some have some syncopation. So if I play a little bit faster, 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, so that's sort of the basic idea of it. Now with the track,
2, 1, 2, 3.
okay, so now you've heard the lick kind of over and over and over again. So now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to improvise and then stick the lick in.
1,
See if that works.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, and now I'm into the D minor. But but I was hoping that you can sort of hear where that goes. Is that there's a part of it is that if I know I'm going to play that liquor at the third time, then unconsciously I'm sort of keeping an eye on how much time do I have before I have to play that lick. You know, and as I'm conscious of that, I become a little bit more acutely aware of like what's actually going on right here and right now, which is really the point, isn't it? So sometimes like deciding that I'm going to play this lick at this time is a really great way to keep you. Keeps me honest. Actually, it keeps me out of the noodle zone.
The noodle zone.
Yeah.
And in it, instead of thinking about what we need for groceries.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Wanna
any
go on?
questions about that one before we move on?
All right.
Okay. So, I'm kind of
Look at
moving
this
quickly
fun
through
one.
these because, quickly through these because, you've got the music, you've got the tablature, and these will be up on YouTube, right?
Well, the whole thing is going to YouTube right now, but then all the material you'll find at that link.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot. I wasn't keeping track of the dates on these except for the last two. So
Yeah.
here's all the stuff we've been doing, and here's today.
Yeah.
Just so you know, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free. I'll put the link in the comments so you can access it all and sign up for the mailing list so you know when we're doing it again.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, here's arcade games.
Oh, and actually,
Oh.
before I do, what's that date?
Which date?
Okay, so for those of you locally, we're doing we're doing a record release June 2nd at the Red Lion Inn
In Cohasset.
in Cohasset.
You can do just our show, or you can reserve dinner and our
Yep.
show.
You can do the John and Julie dinner. That's right.
Tickets
right.
are limited.
Yeah. Let's see. No, but what I also wanted to mention is
I don't think I'll be able to do next time, but if you want to do it.
yeah. So September 10, as I think is when we're gonna be doing that
We're doing a guitar extravaganza day-long workshop.
yeah. So we're gonna be this is gonna be the first year. This is our first one doing this. But so September 10, which is a Saturday, we're gonna do like an all-day guitar workshop. We're
We'll
limiting
start with
this.
donuts
Yeah.
and coffee.
Start with donuts and coffee. It's gonna be just basically, a day of
Download.
yeah,
Guitar
download, play a bunch of stuff, work on a bunch of stuff, play some more stuff.
Then jam live in the night.
Yeah, so we're basically gonna be working on like warm up exercises, chops builders, theory exercises, improvisation exercises, and then later in the afternoon we're gonna have a rhythm section come in and actually play with everybody. So
Yeah. So
everybody
no
gonna
backing tracks allowed.
yeah. So it's it's basically from like 9 o'clock to it'll be 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock basically.
Your fingers will be tired.
Yeah.
Your brain will be tired.
Yeah.
But you'll be joyful.
Yeah, but there'll be breaks in there for for meals and everything like that. But
It's true. It's not a boot camp. We don't
yeah.
do that.
It's a pleasant boot camp, let's say. So anyway,
We'll send out more information about that
yeah,
stuff
we're
if
just
you're on our
in the
mailing list.
process of figuring that out. But if that's something that you're interested in, keep your eyes peeled. We'll be talking more about it later.
That's right.
Okay, so
Now we're going to do arcade games.
yeah, so arcade games. So this is kind of a thing.
Look at these neat skips.
So like as you look through it, you can see that there's quite a bit of string skipping, and kind of where I was coming from this was that at one point I started realizing that if I play this as a C minor 7th arpeggio, right, that I could get more or less the same sound out of the arpeggio by just playing the 5th string, the 3rd string, and then the 1st string. What's cool about that is that it sounds great and it's easy to play.
I love that.
Right. Now, if I stack an E flat major 7 arpeggio on top of that C minor 7th chord, I'm going to get all the notes of a C minor 7th chord, but I'm also going to be taking away the root and adding the ninth instead. So play the C minor 7th chord. So hit the arpeggio. And then again, just play the 5th, 3rd, and 1st strings.
That's
Okay.
nice, John.
And then against the G minors, and then playing a G minor 7 against the C minor 7th chord. Kind of gives you a minor 11 sound. So what's cool about that is I can start with C minor 7, and then E flat major 7, then G minor 7, then B flat major 7.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah, so so all of those arpeggios will all work over the C minor 7. So the reason why I'm explaining that is because that's the basis of this lick. So if I play it as it is, 3, 4, I'm sorry, 3, 4. Okay, that was kind of it. That was a little bit, but anyway, so
Still very cool.
inside the track,
Sorry. Close quarters.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
okay? So as you can hear,
Oh, dear.
I'm trying to turn off the track. So as you can hear, there's quite a lot of skips involved, and as I'm moving through all the different arpeggios, it's kind of getting different parts of the sound of C Dorian over that. Okay, so it's a sort of thing where it's, compared to what it sounds like, it's actually, the shapes themselves are pretty easy to play. What's tricky is getting the timing just right, because I sort of set it up so that you're switching from one arpeggio to the next arpeggio in places that aren't like immediately obvious.
Did you slide up?
Slide up from the pinky, yeah.
Oh. Oh. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Do you use your pinky on?
So, I'm sorry. So I'm sliding. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's tough.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing. It takes a minute. It takes a minute to figure out. So on that E flat right there, that's when you go up to switch positions.
So,
No. So what? Yeah. Right, and then to go to the F9 chord. So with the F9 chord, you're using an F7th arpeggio and as well as an A minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio against the F9 chord. So,
oh yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm gonna learn that one for sure.
Yeah.
I love going back and figuring them out.
Cool. So anybody have any questions about any of those?
Sweetness.
Okay. Should I keep going?
Yeah, we like the licks.
Okay,
I like
alright.
the licks.
Okay.
2 Mile Island.
This one might be the hardest to play.
Uh-oh.
Because the beginning of it is pretty fast. It's over the D minor 7. starts right before measure 19. Okay, so I'll play it slowly first. So 3, 4, So let's do over D minor 7.
Oh, sorry.
3, 4,
Oh my gosh. Right.
Okay, yeah. So the second half of it, like all those leaps.
Stop.
Yeah, so it's kind of a lot.
Just so you know, John just goes deliberately writes licks that are really hard to play that he can't play, just so it gives him a challenge.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's something I started, a while ago. Is that when I sit and practice something and I'm writing something new, sometimes what I'll do, like what I've done a lot, is deliberately write something for myself that I can't possibly get anywhere near. Because what it does is it gives me something. It kind of forces me to work on it until I can do it. And there's quite a few things that I've written that that I'll never be able to play. But
I don't know.
maybe
I
if
haven't
you,
seen you not be able to play anything.
well, and but I find that it's good for pushing yourself, I think. So anyway, so this lick, so 2 Mile Island. Now, one of the things I should tell you is when I get to measure 11, I do sort of switch between pick and fingers to get those leaps. See, I'm doing that.
Hold on. Let me stop sharing.
Yeah. So when I
Let's
get to
just
that, then I'm returning to the pick. So picking all of this, then picking, then okay, so up tempo. Yeah. Three, four. Yeah.
Sheesh.
So,
Sweet
and the solution to that, it's just
It
practice.
makes it look easy.
All right.
Oh God. All right, so
That's
do you want to
gotta
hear?
be a
So
tough part.
here's what the track.
Here we go. So we have to tempo.
Yeah. And then you're into the other thing. So.
Woo! Love it.
Yeah, so it's good, it's good to work on things like that because it kind of gets you using that vocabulary, and then I find that once I'm already there, then over time I start to be able to do similar things.
Then you hear a new song and you go, oh, I know what to do.
Right. Yeah. So.
I'm gonna go diddly 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 diddly. Can't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one, rapid fire
Rapid fire.
triplets. Let's see. So this is over the first A, I think. Okay. So this one. So 3, 4. Okay. just that. Okay.
Sweet.
So, so this lick kind of takes advantage of a lot of those like slides and hammer-ons and pull-offs you could do within a minor pentatonic. Okay, things like that. Then the second half of it, in the lowest line where it has that slide, that's just kind of a nice thing to know how to do. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Very cool.
So then
There's more, huh?
the last one.
Finger skating. Woo!
Okay. So hold on a second.
Look at all those fun slides.
So if I did it right, this should be. This is the same loop with the longer lick.
This has the same chord progression as the last,
Yeah.
number 19.
Okay. So the lick. So 3, 4. Okay,
Sorry, I played the wrong note.
so the first measure of that was just me sort of screwing around with like sliding on different strings. Right? So and then just doing leaps within that. Okay, then another arpeggio. Right, then the lick. Okay, so okay, so that's that lick.
Nice.
So hopefully, when I'm improvising, I might be able to kind of pick up a few of those things and incorporate them.
1, 2,
Let's see.
1, 2, 3.
way.
The basic idea. Well, thank you. So the basic idea is that you're really pretty clear about exactly where you are in the chord progression. You know,
Very important.
so if that makes any sense. All right. So does anybody have does anybody have any questions? Let's see. Ruben has a comment. Aha! I just worked out why I sucked on that.
I don't think you sucked.
Yeah, I didn't think it sucked.
You hadn't got the swing. Oh, John has the swing.
I just hadn't practiced anything with a swing for a little while, and suddenly it's like, oh, why am I tripping over? And it took me a while to work it out, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm not swinging it properly.
Yeah, it takes a moment to get the feel. That's what Dustin was figuring out with the Mixolydian.
Yeah, that's
I thought you did great.
yeah, that's kind of a big thing. So, you know, and I find that you know, even before I start thinking about, like, you know, the theory and note choice and things like that, a lot of times I feel like I got to get the tone and the balance right before I can even kind of approach it, because you know, if I'm working on the theory and the guitar's out of tune or it doesn't sound good, you know, like I'm already, you know, I'm already tripping on, you know, I'm roller skating on ice at that point. You know what I mean?
Double whammy.
Yeah.
I can't even roller skate or ice skate.
Yeah,
Trying to combine the two.
Okay, so maybe what we could do, you know, Dustin did such a great job putting together that recording.
I know. If you want to do Dorian, we'd welcome it. Are we going to do it in June?
Yeah, let's do it in June. But I'm going to fly solo in June because Julie's going to be Julie's going to be actually teaching at Berklee College of Music.
Yay.
You know, and she's going to have a ton on her plate, and
I go 9 to 6, so I wouldn't be home.
Yeah.
But I might be able to just zip on down and pop in.
Yeah. So how about this? It's like I'll start and you just kind of jump in, you know, to come into the room when you can.
I'll just race home.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So what day would that be?
It would be June 20 somethings.
Probably either the 20th or the 27th, I would imagine, if we're going to stick to Monday nights.
Oh, the 20th I can be there.
Yeah, let's do the 20th.
Can we do the 20th?
Yeah.
Is that okay with everyone?
Yep.
We'd love Al to come. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. So, you know,
We will revisit Dorian at the beginning, and then we'll go on to what?
well, actually, yeah. So we'll do that. Yeah, we'll go to Aeolian next.
Aeolian.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
All right. So you know, so we have more backing tracks. We've got more, you know, we've got more licks around that. Oh, did we post the Carlos Wanderlust one?
We did.
Okay, so
It's really a special one. Like if you want to do a track or play along with the track for next time, you might want to try the Carlos Wanderlust.
Yeah, so Carlos Wanderlust is, you know, just a different feeling kind of a track.
It's a song that John wrote.
Yeah, so the solo section just goes from D Dorian to C Dorian, then to F Dorian.
So same concept, just a little different feel.
Yeah, and you'll hear it when you know, like the feel is completely different on that track, but it's the same information.
Yeah.
You know, so
if you're feeling ambitious.
Yeah,
if
you're feeling, you know, if you want to work with that one.
Yeah.
So, John, just a quick question. The PDF that's called Soloing Study Number 4, is that the lead sheet for Carlos Wanderlust, or?
No, that should be. No, that's the lead sheet for the Dorian backing track.
Got it. So, is there a lead sheet for Carlos Wanderlust, or is it just straight C to D Dorian?
Oh, wait, that's a good question. If there isn't, I believe there is, but if there isn't, I'll make one and send it out.
All right, sounds good.
Okay,
Thank you.
That's easy enough. All right, very cool. All right, tell all your friends, have them join us. This would be kind of a fun hang.
It is a fun hang.
Yeah.
We're fun.
All
Always
right.
is.
So fun.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool.
We get a lot out of this.
All right, again, thank you guys. You guys have all the you know, for those of you who choose to donate, you have the Venmo and PayPal info.
At
All right.
Juli Finn Venmo. Or
Cool.
John at johnfinn.com.
Yeah, either one. Yeah.
So we appreciate it. Thanks for hanging.
Thanks, guys. Always
We'll
appreciate
see
your time.
you in a month. Enjoy Dorian.
Yes, and Ruben, I'll see you in just a little bit. Right?
Oh, you're on mute.
He's
In
on
1
mute.
hour?
See you again?
In 1 hour, was it?
Yes.
Okay, all good.
Yeah. All right. Great, man. Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you all.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you, Ruben. Thanks for